In this video, I'm going to be giving you 5 reasons why you should be buying a house right now. The first reason is sellers are willing to negotiate these days. If you rewind the tape over the last couple of years, asking a seller for any sort of concession, credit, lowering of their sales price, or anything that would take money out of their pocket was literally unheard of. There were realtors that I was working with that would tell their clients, if you didn't have an extra $20,000 to $30,000 to come in above list price, don't even shop for a house today. They wouldn't even work with these clients, which was tough to hear because there were so many of you as renters that wanted to become a homeowner. You were ready to make the leap and take advantage of the low interest rate environment that we had. But unfortunately, everybody was out there looking to buy a house. The competition was fierce. You would hear these crazy stories of 20, 30, 40 offers on a house, and homes would literally sell within 24 hours, if not the day that they put it on the market to be sold. Now, when you look at the environment that we're in right now, our clients are winning simply because they're ahead of the curve. They're getting pre-approved today, and they're seeing past all the noise that's out there of people saying, don't buy, the market's gonna crash, and all these other negative comments and negative ideas that are out there, simply because we're giving them the framework to be successful. And the first reason why you'd be successful is because sellers are willing to negotiate. As a home buyer, I want you to put your seller hat on. Let's just pretend for a second that you own a home. Now, if you as a home seller are also thinking about what happened over the last couple of years, you were also under the impression that I'm going to put my house up for sale and it's going to sell the same day, maybe within the next couple of days. Think about the emotions that they're feeling in today's market. Their house is sitting for an extra week, 30 days, 45 days. Every day and every week that the house sits and it doesn't get an offer, the sellers are panicking. In fact, they're doing it so much that they're willing to drop their prices. And this is a perfect environment for a buyer to be in. So despite what the media tells you, and despite what maybe your friends and family are telling you to do, I would strongly encourage you to see past the noise and see the opportunity that's out there. Because if you had to come in with an extra $20,000 or $30,000 to buy a house last year, which frustrated most of you, in fact, it frustrated you so much, some of you, in fact, a lot of you probably quit buying. You just didn't want to do it. But think about today. You can go in there, the seller's willing to listen to you, the seller's willing to negotiate with you. They're even willing to come down on their sales price. Shoot, the ball's in your court, the way I look at it. So let reason number 1 be the most important reason why you get off the fence today to start your pre-approval. And the next reason why I'd be buying a house right now, sellers are willing to cover your closing costs. Again, the last couple of years, almost unheard of. You had to pay all of your closing costs on your own, which here in Las Vegas, our median home price continually increased, and now we're probably close to $500,000. If you think about that in the sense of closing costs, you're looking at an additional probably $10,000, if not more, depending on the price range, but let's just say a rough ballpark of $10,000. Now think again, over the last couple of years, if you had to spend an extra $20,000 just to get above the list price to even be in the game, then you have to spend another maybe $10,000 in closing costs, plus your down payment, plus any cost of inspections and anything else that comes along with financing a home. You're talking an additional $30,000 that you had to have saved just to be able to purchase last year. So now let's get rid of the fact that you don't have to pay the extra $20,000 above list price, and the seller can cover all your closing costs for you. So all you really need to do in today's market is come up with a down payment. Now remember, here in Las Vegas, we have a number of down payment assistance programs. So for all of you first-time home buyers, this is a great way to be able to purchase a home today. Now imagine this, you get qualified for a down payment assistance program, and you have an amazing realtor by your side that can negotiate and get the seller to cover all your closing costs. You are literally coming out of pocket with very little, if any money at all, to buy a house. Now, why would that seem like a bad idea? You could literally take yourself from being a renter, paying someone else's rent, being at the mercy of your landlord, and I'm sure all of you have seen your rents increase over the last year or two. Now you can control your biggest living expense, and you could buy a house cheaper than what it's going to cost to go and rent a home today. And think about that. If you go and rent, you probably have to pay your first month, your last month, your security deposit, and any other miscellaneous fees that the landlord wants to charge you. So if your rent's $2,000, your last month's rent's $2,000. There's $4,000. Then your security deposit might be another month of rent. There's $6,000 that you literally have to come up with to go find a place to rent that you could get into a house today with less than that. But again, why would you not look at buying a home? Having the resources at your mercy today and in your favor is an amazing reason why you should be looking at buying a house. And my next reason that I'd be buying a house right now is the seller is willing to cover your cost to buy down your interest rate. Now I'm going to hop on my laptop right here, but I want to show you guys exactly what I mean. Now, as we look at this first column represents if you were to just pay list price for a house, and I'm just using an arbitrary number of $500,000. Let's just say you put 20% down. Today's rough interest rate with a 740 credit score, you're looking at about 5.99%. Obviously, rates change every day. This is regarding a primary occupant home. So if you're looking to buy a vacation home, investment property, if your credit score is higher, lower, even pricing out in a different state, you need to make sure that your loan officer is pricing it accordingly. I literally just got off the phone with a client who was looking to purchase in another state, and he thought the interest rates were the exact same, which they are not. So make sure to get with your lender, make sure they're licensed in the other state that you're looking to purchase, so that way they can give you accurate information. Now, this payment here based on this scenario is $23.95. This is a principal and interest payment. This does not include property taxes, homeowners insurance, or an HOA fee. This is just your bare bones principal and interest. Now, here's what typically happens in a market like we're in right now. You as a buyer, you see the house sitting on the market for 30, 45, 60 days. You automatically think the house is overpriced, and your gut reaction is to then offer a lowball offer to the seller. Now, most real estate agents will go ahead with that offer and that strategy just to try to get you into the house. But I'm going to show you why this is a bad idea and why you should stay away from doing this, especially if you're financing a home. If you're paying cash, this strategy doesn't necessarily work because a loan is not involved, and obviously negotiating down on price as a buyer paying cash, more power to you, and that's the way you should definitely go about it. But let's just say we're financing this $500,000 house, but now we want to lowball it, okay? So we're going to lowball it at $460,000. We're willing to come in with the 20% down option. Again, 5.99% rate based on our current scenario, 740 credit score, primary residence here in Las Vegas. Our principal and interest payment is $2203.98, or a savings of about $191. Now, you as a home buyer, you feel great, right? Because you negotiated the sales price down. The agent's happy. The agent negotiated it down. We beat the seller up. We got them down $40,000. We got you into your home. But I'm going to show you why you're making a mistake by doing that. And in this market, this is the strategy that you should be using so you can win. And this is what all of my clients are doing right now. And this is why we are getting offers accepted. And all of my clients are loving the environment that we're in. So instead of beating the seller up on price, I'm willing to give the seller their price. I'm going to give you price, but I need you to give me the terms that I want. And here's what I mean by that. So instead of talking them down $40,000 on the sales price of the home, I'm going to ask for an $8,000 or 2% concession. Now remember, this is my third reason why you should be buying right now. I'm going to ask the seller to cover my 2% concession, which I, as your lender, would recommend you buying down your interest rate. So I'm going to get you from 5.99% down to 4.99%. So a 2% credit gets us about a 1% rate reduction. Now look at what it does to the payment. My payment is now $21.44, or an additional $60 cheaper from just talking the seller down $40,000, or from our original list price, I'm saving $250 a month. Huge savings. And you can't tell me $60 is not that big of a savings, because I've lost numerous deals in my career where clients tell me that an extra $50 a month is too expensive. So I know through my experience, saving you another $60, saving you $250 on your payment is a big deal, because this is how you now put yourself and your family into a better financial situation. Now here's how the magic of all this works, because this last column, what this essentially illustrates is the buying power that you now gain as a home buyer. So you can see, if we wanted to keep the mortgage payments the same, what all of you experienced over the last 6 to 8 months is rising interest rates and rising home prices. So if you looked at the 1% increase in interest rates going from 4.99 to 5.99%, in order for my buyer to keep the exact same principal and interest payment, they would have only had to purchase up to $447,000. All of you experienced this, and you know what? It got so frustrating, you decided to quit buying because the house that you initially thought you could have qualified for, you no longer could buy because home values continue to go up. This is a problem that a lot of you faced. Even a lot of real estate agents did not have an answer for this. So they would tell you, hey, Joe, instead of buying a $500,000 house, you can only now afford $447,000. So instead of that school district you wanted to be in, we no longer can be there. We have to look somewhere else. Or maybe that 4-bedroom house you really wanted to purchase, it's now got to be a 3-bedroom. So for all of you that are on the sideline right now, do you think in this case, if I could get you another $52,000 in buying power, does that help you with your home search? I would say yes, absolutely. Because if someone got maxed out, pre-approved at $447,000, and I could increase your buying power by $50,000 without increasing your mortgage payment, I can guarantee you I'd get you off the fence and we could find you a house today. And more importantly, we're getting the seller to cover your buy down costs. This is the benefit of buying today. You couldn't do this a couple years ago. Given the interest rates were lower and home prices were lower, but you have to remember the trade-off was you had to have more cash to come in above the list price. So for a lot of you, that was a sore spot. But now the ball's in your court. We can ask for these credits. We can put in strategies like this to make you a winner in today's market. Here's a chart that I want to show you with some recent data from Fidelity National Title, one of our preferred title partners that we work with here in Vegas. I got this report and you can see the number of active listings have increased significantly here in Las Vegas. Just look at the number here in 2022 alone. In January, we had a little over 4,000 homes for sale. Fast forward to July, we've got over 20,000 homes for sale. This is huge. Look at where we were in 2020. There was 13 homes for sale on the entire market in May of 2020. Insane. That's why homes were selling so fast. But look at all these numbers, 1,300, 169, 298. But you can see over the years, the inventory is starting to pick up. Inventory is out there. So as a buyer, again, if you quit in the last couple of years because you got frustrated, this is the time to buy. There are more homes for sale. It's time for you to negotiate. It's time for you to then go find the house you're truly looking for versus being forced to buy something or settle for something that you didn't really like simply because you were really trying to get into the market. Now, let's look at active condos because some of you may not be able to purchase a home right now. So you might have to look at a condo or a townhome. Same issue that we had. Look at 2020, 2 units for sale. June, it bumped to 204, and the number just stayed fairly low all through 2020. 2021, it finally bumped up, getting close to 1,000. Now we've doubled that. We've got almost 3,000 units on the market for sale. So again, this is a great time to buy. There's more inventory. The supply is there. The demand, not so heavy. We do have a lot of buyers that are still transacting. I think there's about 25 to maybe 2,700 transactions that happen every month here in Clark County. However, there's a lot of you that are on the fence simply because you say rates are too high. And I did a video about this. The average interest rate over the last 50 years was 7.76% for a 30-year fixed mortgage. So to look at rates today in maybe the mid 5s, or with my strategy I just showed you, we can get you into the 4s. Why would you not buy? All the cards are in your favor right now. And if you're still watching this video and you made it this far, I want you to comment below, this is my year. Because for all of you that are looking to buy, this exactly can be your year to become a homeowner. Take advantage of the shift that we're seeing right now and implement some of these reasons and strategies that I've showed you so that way you can be successful with your first home purchase. And my next reason that you should be looking to buy a house is simply because of the stability that owning a home provides. Here in Las Vegas, we have no rent control. And I've told this story numerous times, but I'm going to say it again because I still hear these horror stories of our clients where their landlords are increasing their rent $500, $1,000 a month. Some of you have even commented on other videos and have shared with me your pain that you have heard. And even on my home buyer webinars that I've done, this is always a pain point for so many buyers because they literally feel that they have nowhere to go. They have no solution. So if you can take advantage of a first-time home buyer program, a down payment assistance program, and you can actually get yourself into a home today to get the seller to cover your costs, and now you can provide that stability for you and your family, I think this is an amazing time to be in that position. Because if you can save up several thousands of dollars to get yourself into a rental, why not put that money towards buying a house and let the seller cover all the other costs for you to become a homeowner? And then we can share your success story, just like I've shared with you when I first bought my house back in the crash. I bought my house in the crash, my rate was 7%. I lost about 30 or 40% of my property value, but it didn't matter because I needed a place to live. I needed a roof over my head. And no matter what, my mortgage payment has not changed over the years. It has still maintained at about $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month rent payment today is nearly unheard of. So even if you bought a townhome or a condo or just something to get your foot in the door and you start building some equity, it gives you that stability that now you can start saving up more money. You can start maybe paying off some of these annoying credit card bills that you have, or maybe student loan debt, or anything that's maybe hanging over your head that you can then put yourself in a better financial position. So that way in the future, you know what? If you do sell your house and you make a ton of money, more power to you. Now you can go buy your dream home. And that's what it's all about. Starting small, getting your foot in the door, creating stability and a good foundation so that way you can become a successful homeowner. And you know what? Maybe become a real estate investor. Now that you have my 5 reasons as to why you should be buying a home right now, if you're ready to take the leap, make sure to send me an email. We can get you started with our simple 3-step pre-approval process to get you qualified to start shopping for your home. And make sure to share this video with your friends and family who are on the fence about buying. Hopefully we can help inspire them to take the leap into home ownership. And I'll see you on the next video.